Hi, I'm Cliff. I'm employed. Those of you who've heard my spiel before, you know I've had a varied career, varied industries, varied locations, varied job titles. But good news, I got my business cards. Vistaprint, always go to Vistaprint for business cards, like 10 bucks, you get 100 of them. So I'd like to share them with you.
Pass them back.
I went with a tagline, closer, because I think that really describes, everything about me. I went to Rochester Works resume workshop on Monday. Turns out you don't use resumes anymore. You use what's called a marketing plan. And with the marketing plan, you only use like 15 to 20 years worth of your work history. Anything prior to that is old or outdated. Skills may be stale. So I spent Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and all day yesterday working on my marketing plan. And I'd like to read it to you, get some feedback from you if I could. It's a little different than you're used to, so please bear with me. So I was very excited in December 2001 when I landed a job with Enron. Then I moved to Rochester to work for Global Crossing in January 2002. I commuted to Coudersport, Pennsylvania, when in June 2002 I started working with Adelphia Communications. Then I joined US Air in August of that year, and Conseco 4 months later. Well, in 2003, I took the year off, wanted to rebrand myself, learn new skills, and went back to school, learned to be a casino dealer, and then I moved to Atlantic City in November 2004 for a job at the Trump Hotels. Well, I fly all over, so I took a job with Delta Airlines in September of 2005. But my big break came when I was able to build my vision on Wall Street with Lehman Brothers in September 2008. Yeah, we know how that went. Well, I moved to Detroit in April 2009 to work for Chrysler. A couple months later, I moved over to General Motors. Well, by that time I was burned out of manufacturing. So I decided to get a job in retail. So I took a job with Hollywood Video in February 2010. Then Blockbuster in September of that year, and finally Borders Books in February of 2011. Well, you can take Cliff out of Rochester, but you can't take Rochester out of Cliff, so I moved back to Rochester because I had my Kodak moment beginning of 2012. Well, then I took another gamble, moved back to Atlantic City, worked for Trump Plaza in September 2014. I utilized my teaching skills and took a job with Everest Institute in February of 2015. And finally, I ended up with Taj Mahal at August of 2016. Most recently, I was with Radio Shack starting in March. Now, I have many transferable skills. That's what you always emphasize in your marketing plan, transferable skills. I'm great at packing up an office. I travel very light. I have a couple ties, okay, a couple shirts, a couple pairs of pants. I know where all of the extended stay hotels are. I can find any dry cleaner, and I know all the good local restaurants. And I can update my resume in minutes. Now, I can provide references if you want, although I really don't know where any of my former bosses are working or how to reach them. If you want, I think you're going to need to include a picture of me in case they don't recognize me. So that's my resume, or my marketing plan, actually. The problem? My friends won't pick up the phone when I call them if they recognize the number. And if they do happen to pick up without looking, they hang up as soon as they hear me. I once had a job interview. The hiring manager took one look at my resume and she started packing up her office. She sent me down to HR. The HR manager took one look at my resume. They sent out a notification to the entire company that they were closing the plant. So, what do you think I should do? You know, when I hand out business cards, I want to thank you folks. Usually people throw them back at me. Do you think I should go with a functional resume? You know, is that the problem? Where do you work?
Here, Celis.
Hey, I just applied for a job here last week. Do you have a business card? You know, who knows? Maybe we're going to be working next to each other pretty soon.
I've been wanting to retire.
Remember, I'm Cliff Milligan, and I'm the closer. Madam Toastmaster.